Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Just That, where I am playing Final Fantasy XIV. I feel like the most relaxed intro I've done in a while. Anyway, last episode we did even more relic weapon shenanigans, and today we're going to go and hopefully finish off this beautiful relic weapon that I have on my back. Now, Lin, you see before you a man content. My studies are complete, and I am now composing my master treatise on the enhancement of arms through soul infusion. Once I have finished, I intend to return to my homeland. My journey of discovery, in other words, now draws to a close. I tell you, though, the research I performed here was the most meaningful of my career. It was your deeds that led me to these new heights, and you have my deepest gratitude. And I must not forget to thank Gerald. I have an exquisite liquor from my own private cellar, a small token of my appreciation. Might I ask you to deliver it? It would be altogether too embarrassing to give it to him myself. Now thinking about it, like the sound is still the same, yeah, okay. Need to make sure. Bidet. Present from Gelzon now, is it? Sunshine, distilled in Gelzon's private cellarage using a recipe handed down through his family for 16 generations. Give or take a few generations, these mind-clearing, belly-warming, lacquer-removing spirits are as sweet on the lips as the sun's kiss. Bah, I'd sing the bugger thank me in the flesh. But love his gift all the same. I'm still dreaming of the last bottle's fiery kick. Just as well you're here, though. Been meaning to have a word with you about your Zodiac weapon. See, I got curious as to the trials of the brave, so I bargained a bit with Rowena and get myself a complete set of the She-Devil. A complete setup from the She-Devil. I even laid me hands on the last tome of the series, the Book of Netherdark. What's written there surprised the living hells out of me. Seems the original Zodiac weapons each had a self of their own. A sentience shaped by the bear's very soul. The arms grew mightier and easier to wield of their own will, based on nothing but the character and needs of their heroes. Weren't just something as simple as having a piece of steel you've grown accustomed to. Those weapons were like extensions of the braves' bodies. It is why they were the greatest arms of their own ages, and why they were lost. You can hardly pass a weapon down to the generations if no other bugger can wield it for shite, can you? Gerald, this is hardly what I expected to hear upon coming to bid you farewell. Tell me, do you think this still true? Oh, gods help me, I do. And I even reckon there's a decent chance to recreate Zodiac weapons. A decent chance the recreated Zodiac weapon can do the very same thing. Mind you, any other arm and you'd be a fool to try, but Lynn's weapon's got soul and light in it. I'd wager me 6 pints of mead. It's got some form of sentience already. I'm on the mind that it ain't fully awakened yet. It's a strange concept, but I suppose we've encountered stranger in our travails. Moreover, this notion of sentience could be the origin of how these arms came to achieve their legendary status. Ha! A weapon able to choose its wielder by its own will. Fascinating, simply fascinating. Why, I can imagine no truer ally. It ain't like to keep you company with its bantering, Gelzon. We're talking about forging an unbreakable bond twixt the souls of the wielder and the weapon. Well, Lynn, you've come this far. You keen on seeing us through? Dear me, it would seem as though a postponement to my homewards journey is in order. We must set to this adventure forthwith. I'm glad of the help, Gelzon, but starting out on adventures easier said than done. Before all else, we've got to crack how to awaken the sleeping sentience in Lynn's arm. Indeed, mayhap we can awaken the soul within the arm via some substance alike in character. Creating a residence betwixt soul can allow for the transference of certain qualities after all. Atma, for instance, has no sentience of its own to speak of, yet as the crystallized soul of a living being, it can contain a particular sense, an aspect of consciousness, if you will. Unless I fear Atma is too weak. However, some stronger variety of crystallized soul may be capable of bestowing its sense onto the slumbering sentience. Of course, for the weapon to profit by this, simply possessing the crystal will not be enough. The sense will not magically transfer itself. We will have to find a way to make the soul without connect to the soul within. There we go. Wielding the weapon whilst the crystallized soul is near could be the answer, or he might also... Wait, the first thing you said about wielding the weapon. That ain't half bad, and it just so happens I have an idea on where you might get the kind of crystallized souls you're talking about. Then you'll need to pay Rowena a visit. Of course, it ain't her you want, but her introduction to a bloke called Reborn. The man handles arcane goods and comes round to Rowena's place every now and again. Not regular like though. Reborn's one what only wheels and deals in the shadows. Child, you're acquainted with a merchant of the black market? I know your shady past would aid us at some point. There's no time to waste then. Pray see about arranging this interaction. Back to Revenant's Hall. Yeah, time to go back to Revenant's Hall and then go to some other dude and then go back. Because, of course. Rowena. Let me guess, you're an account of Gerald and some weapon or another. How close I come. Well, at least I know why Gerald was hankering for those old tomes. Like a starved cat after a plump mouse he was. When that man starts working, there ain't nothing this realm that can stop him. Ain't changed a bit from when we were traveling around. Oh, but that's what's it we were talking about again? Ah, that's right. You were hunting for Reborn. Well, I reckon he's the man you want, given what you're after. Of course, the problem ain't finding him. It's the getting him to help you part. See, a fair ways back, Reborn lent Gerald a pretty lump of money. Time comes to repay it, and Gerald tries to run. Certain words are said, certain bottles thrown. Needless to say, Reborn hates the blacksmith more than mortal bile. I end up repaying the sum Gerald owned. But Reborn's kept that grudge smoldering inside him for nigh on 20 years. I understand why well enough, I suppose. Could have bought 10 manses in the lavender beds with what Gerald took. I conjure any man would be hesitant to forgive and forget after that. Now that you know the particulars, I'll give you your introduction. But best to keep in mind what folk as work in the shadows are real sticklers for their code. One deal with a soul was broken it, nor their friends. So run on back to Hurstmill and tell Gerald that Reborn's in his usual haunt. But I don't think the merchant will touch you with a 10-foam pole unless the adult apologizes in full. Back to fucking... Okay. Alright, okay. Back to Hurstmill. I want you to just... Okay, these quests are not really like a thing. after you're done with these quests, that is it. Then you can just like make the weapons, if you want to make any other ones. However, you would always have to go back over to Hurstmill. It's such a pain. So many things about this are such a freaking pain. I'm gonna be so happy when I'm done with this. Which I think is quite obvious at this point. Anyway. Gerald. Now, what's that about Reborn? Bah, just that a guilt-pinching bastard to not deal with you unless I grovel at his bloody feet. You'd think you'd water under the bridge by now, but it's been a full 20 years since... Ah, but it ain't the money, is it? It's the woman. Never bleeding bull, mind who. The point that Reborn won't just forgive me, no matter how long or loud I apologize. Have you considered that a gift may say more than words can, Gerald? Surely you know of something dear to him. You heard all that, did you? As it happens, I can't rightly remember what Reborn likes. Well, say for a bottle of liquor or three. And the very liquor I gave to you is the answer, is it not? No, don't talk nonsense. It ain't every day I can drink such fine spirits. That liquor's mine, and mine it's going to stay. Fine, for the sake of the bloody Zodiac weapon, I'll part with me, bottle of sunshine. You will not regret this, Gerald, though I am sorry to say that bottle represents the last of the spirits I brought from Ratatan. God damn it all, please, Josan, at least tell me you've not run out of the ingredients you need to brew a potion. I have not, though all of my alchemical equipment is now buried at the bottom of my luggage. But pray tell, what would you have me do with them? Something I read in the Trials of the Braves. For now, let's just say we'll need a potion for the like of if this awakening business goes to plan. Now then, if Rowena set Ramon's in his usual haunt, then you need to make your way to Swiftperch. Once you find the bloke, you'll need to give him... just give him this ball of sunshine and sage from me. Get yourself some of what he's dealing, and then high off to battle. Sense will pass to your weapon through soul resonance, and the more blows you strike, the sooner its sentience will start to awake. Now that the Zodiac Glass will aid you in taking measurements of the soul resonance. Once you've imbued your arm with enough senses, return to me and I will do my utmost to see its potential realized. Now let me go and take a look again, because I thought that there was still something that I was gonna need at the end of this little final quest line. Let's see. Actually, no. Okay, that's really nice. Alright. So, yeah. This is the reason why I held on to all of my tomestones. Lest you wonder. It is necessary for this over here. Let's go back to Swift. Well, just go to Swiftperch. I'm have to go back, but whatever. Good day to you, Lynn, is it? So I thought. I've been expecting you. Ah, this must be Gerald's token of apology. What an exotic aroma. I'm afraid no bottle of liquor, be it ever so fine, can quell the hate I bear the man. However, I will accept this olive branch nonetheless. But surely you came as much to rouse something from slumber as to lay an old grudge to rest. No need to explain, not to a man with a web of 1,000 eyes and ears. You seek to awaken the sentience nestled within your zodiac weapon, or am I wrong? So I thought. I must say, even I was surprised to hear that Gerald succeeded in recreating a Zodiac Brave's arm, and amazed to learn the weapon concealed yet another secret. Now, of all my wares, Mahatma should serve to bring that secret to light. I have 12 types all told, each the shard of a soul with a distinct sense contained within. I cannot say it will be what Gerald was expecting, but attaching them to your weapon in careful order should do something. As one who once sweated over the anvil, I am intrigued to see what. The merchant in me, however, cannot give Mahatma away for free. My price is elegant tomestones of poetics. Rowena will never more be mine, but I would still aid her with these where I can. Oh, and you needn't worry about me. I may deal from the shadows, but I dislike shadowy dealings. When you are ready to purchase Mahatma, simply say the word and produce the elegant tomestones, of course. Right. Completing certain activities, yeah. So remember when we needed to like grind light points, basically? This is identical to how that works. So you talk to your boy. Well, you've come for my wares, haven't you? So I thought. Well, produce my payment, and I will happily provide Mahatma for whatever zodiac weapon you wish. And then we need to go through this list. In total, okay, yep. So once you have this marked on your thing, you can then technically use the Zodiac glass. I guess I got rid of the Zodiac glass? I did. Okay. Well, you can use it to see how far your weapon is imbued, but like you will get a message too when it is ready. So, my friends, I also want to mention another thing I totally almost forgot. The amount of time that it takes to finish this is about half the amount of time that it would take you to get the entire light grinding. If you spam kill Ifrit, just normal basic Ifrit, then it takes you 20 minutes in total, as far as I am aware. While if you wanted to get the light farm part of the Zodiac weapons, that would then be 40 minutes of non-stop Ifrit killing. Like, give or take. It's a rough estimate. Anyway, my friends, I'm going to be back in a moment for you guys, and in most likely 20 to 30 minutes for me. Now, I'm a little bit unsure about this, but I think I get a special little thing when I finish these all. So give me a second while I adjust the freaking sound of my headset because it was really loud because I was listening to music. Of course, because what else am I gonna freaking do when redoing this content over and over? So this is basically how it goes for like a solid 20 minutes. At least. Depending on what you do in between, or like how fast you can do these, how fast your loading times are. I would like to count like maybe 7. Actually, I think in total, like from the moment that I press join, it's probably, I think, 10 seconds. But it, like, or just about 10 seconds that it takes me to do one of these from like start to finish. Zodiac weapon complete! Fucking hell. Okay. Back to Gelzon we go. Goodbye, Reborn. I hope I will never have to see you again. Because I can guarantee you that I am tired of your fucking face. Although I will say from like all of the parts of these, this final part really is just like a victory lap to a certain degree. Still a pain in the butt, mind you, but you know, not as much of a pain in the butt compared to some of these other steps. Alright, Gelzon. Zodiac Weapon Awakening. The sentience stir now within your Zodiac Weapon, and the time is nigh to end its dreaming. Or, I'm thinking might I need to probably unequip that one. Upon waking, your Zodiac Weapon will truly be the finest arm and fiercest ally in all the realm. If you are firm in your purpose, let us begin. I confess, my friend, I have awaited your return most eagerly. Even holding your weapon in my hands, I can sense the soul within pulses more strongly than ever before. If I heard all that rightly, Lyn, your weapon's ready and raring to wake up, meaning it's time for the grand finale, eh, Gelzon? I'm unclear on what part I must play, Gerald. I've made ready my alchemical supplies for the occasion, but I do not know what you would have me concoct, nor, for that matter, why. Alright, well, remember the Book of Netherdark? Though there's precious few would have heard of it, 'tis a fact that its pages hold the last truth of the Zodiac weapons. Truth? What do you mean? In ages past, terrible demons known by the name Zodiac would appear in our world, but when they did, a hero wielding a shining weapon would arise to strike the fiends down. Do you know that particular tale? There are few who know it better. You speak of the Song of the Zodiac Braves. I began my research precisely because I thought its accounts of the legendary weapons held a grain of truth. Ah, but did you know the weapons weren't wreathed in light when the Braves slew the fiends? Aye. Wasn't until those arms tasted a demon's blood that sentience blossomed deep within, and they burst forth in a brilliant halo. 'Tis how the Zodiac weapons were truly born, but that bit of the tale got lost, as it was handed down through the ages. Ah, very good, Gerald, very good indeed. We have no demon's blood to awaken Lyn's arm, but we can mimic it with a quasi-soul potion thick with ether. You're a quick-witted one, make no mistake. Well, now we're all caught up, let's give it a try. There, that ought to be a thick enough coat of my demon's blood potion. The rest I shall leave to you, Gerald. Seeing as there ain't any demons of the Zodiac around to fight, I'll just have to mimic that battle with the flames of me forge and a pounding of me hammer. Now, let's perfect the old relic what we began with so long ago. The weapon's responding to my touch like I wonder. I can feel the soul inside trembling, like it's aching to wake up. So let's give it what it wants. We've done it. Recreated a legendary arm exactly as it was. Sense of self and all. Ye gods, come Lyn, take up your weapon. Behold, the legend made manifest in all its glory. None but the realm's most valiant adventurer, her most masterful blacksmith, and her most accomplished alchemist could have recreated this true heir to the weapons of yore. Nay, here we have forged a new legend. A weapon beyond all compare. The ages will echo with its name, the Longiris Zeta. Whoa! The letter Z. One of the true weapons wielded by the legendary Zodiac Braves. So, the thing that has changed right now about this weapon is that it now has this beautiful little glowing effect. Which I very much enjoy. Anyway, we're not done yet though. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to show off all of the other Zodiac weapons once we are done with all of the quests that these two have to give. My dear, dear girl, thanks to you, I have developed my soul infusion methodology and seen a legendary arm reborn in all its glory. For all this and more, you have my eternal gratitude. I devoted my life to just these two goals, yet neither could I have accomplished alone. Though I risked life and limb, verily 'twas right I should come to Eorzea. One matter puzzles me still, however. Why was the Book of Netherdark, a priceless resource, never completed nor circulated? If I have learned anything by now, it is that Gerald can shed some light on the matter. Come, my friends, let us make one last journey across the village green, for the sake of knowledge itself. Wahey. Maybe as I had one too many last night, but aren't we done with the Zodiac weapons? Why is it you keep hounding me like a pair of bloody debt collectors? We have merely come with a question about the Book of Netherdark, Gerald. Where did you lay hands upon this unfinished tome, pray tell? Well, Rowanda's place, of course. I came across it while I was picking up the rest of the trials of the Braves. Rowanda said she'd only sell the tome to a collector would it pay a king's ransom for it. Till I threatened to wed her again, that is. Well, you can bet she handed it over in a hurry after that. Is that so? Any roads, there's prints aplenty of the trials, but I've heard nothing about another copy of the Book of Netherdark. Like as not, that's why you never saw it in Rod's hand. See, the trials is a load of scattered tales about the ancient heroes gathered and bound up in a book. There we go. It is admired as a work of fancy just as much as an account of the ancients. But this Book of Netherdark, well, it's just raw facts. Seems like it were added to the set after everything else, and you can tell that no editor's pen ever touched it. It's really just a treatise on the Zodiac Braves. So you are gratitude to a scholar. Was there aught by which to identify the author? I would remember him, and so learn by his example. Hell's Gelzon, I don't... Well, now that you mention it, there is a name written here. Looks like Ulthalam. Ulthalam, you say? He was the father of my line, an artisan famed for his pursuit of knowledge. Well, I'll be thrice damned if the man's your ancestor. Might be as you'd like to hear what I found scrawled at the back of the book. Just a moment. After years of careful study, I come to realize that I, Ulthalam, cannot recreate an arm of the Zodiac Braves. I record mine own findings here, that men with like ambition may follow in my footsteps. To the one who succeeds in bringing forth a weapon of the ancient heroes, I leave my eternal admiration and the title of Star Forger, Bringer of Radiance. God be good, though I knew it not. I have dreamed the same dream of as my forefather. Everything, from my encounter with tales of the braves to my choice of studies, must have been written in the stars. In sooth, 'twas right that I journeyed countless miles and weathered stormy seas to come to Eorzea. Hearken to me, spirit of Ulthalam. Rest well, knowing that I, Jelzan, accept the title of Star Forger for you. Oh, hold on for one sudden second. Might be as you're the one what came with the tale of legendary weapons, but who was it that made the bloody thing? Me, that's who. And who was it that found the Book of the Netherdark? Poor old unthanked Gerald. Title is mine, fair and square, even if there ain't a single gill in it. Gil, that title cannot be measured, not even in gold, sir. It is a priceless honor, granted by my ancestor to the one who fulfilled his dream, me. The title is mine by blood and merit both. Like hell's this, do you know what a smithy does? We work a bit of our soul into each blade and kettle we forge. I've sacrificed a good slice of my own bleeding life to the Zodiac weapons, and I ain't about to just let you walk away with the title. You insolent cur! I thought you were but rough around the edges, but I seen that I was right about you from the start. You are the greatest boar in all the lands. Bah, you bleeding coot, you're just stubborn in your old age. The title should go to someone who's got a future, and if you can see it, then you're the biggest horse around. Lynn shrug, but still a smile. Nice. Ah, another Dragoon working on the most hellish thing that you can work on. Having a gay all time. I forgot that achievement name. Phew, that encounter has quite sapped my strength, though not my sense of outrage. I can scarce believe that boar would not yield so much as an ilm. I simply cannot abide the thought of Gerald taking the title. I thought to journey homeward, but now I say I must stay and make him listen to reason. There are far worse places to call home than Hurstmill, I suppose, and I have after all developed a taste for Eorzean cuisine. Of course, my continued tenure here would be all the better if you visited now and again. I would like to learn of your adventures, and would be happy to enhance your arms to the power of materia. Now, Lynn, go forth with your Zodiac weapon, and with it create your own legend. Zodiac weapons, the saga ends. Yay! But we're not done with these two people yet. Also, when you get the Zodiac weapon, you get the letter Z as a title. Kettle to the metal. Curse that drunken bore of a man. How am I to reclaim my title if... Ah, Lynn, pray forgive my grumblings. As you no doubt remember, Gerald stubbornly refuses to relinquish the title of Star Forger, and we have been at odds ever since the completion of your Zodiac weapon Zeta. I will not deny he is a talented blacksmith, but I am of the Ulthalam line. My forefather penned the Book of Netherdark, whose pages reveal the truth of the Zodiac weapons. Who is he to deny my birthright? Now he insists that everyone refers to him as Gerald the Star Forger, more often than not too deep in his cups to be reasoned with. When not drowning in ale, he drowns out the world with his hammer, pounding away on his god-forsaken kettles. And should anyone so much as whisper in his general vicinity, he shouts and bawls like an overtired toddler. I realize he has a single fixation with his crafting, but something is different this time. At this rate, I will never reclaim my family's legacy. Unless, perhaps, you spoke to him in my stead. I know of no other whom he would halt his hammering, let alone listen to them having done so. Please, see if you can talk some sense into him. Maybe the spout could do with being a bit more... Oh, it's you. Whatever it is, you can take it up with Drake over there, and this kettle's not going to make itself. Daft sod still chuttering about who gets the columns of the bloody Star Forger, is he? Well, tell him to shut his gob, because it's me and a story. I've got more important things to worry about, like this kettle here. It's my ticket to freedom, and a fresh start down at the pub. When I've finished, it'll be the finest bloody kettle in all of Eorzea, and I've got a customer what'll pay a Sultana's bleeding ransom for it too. Gonna be just like the good old days. You wait and see. Folk will come crawling to have work done by your old mate Gerald. Come to think of it, since you're here and all, there's a few things I need if you're feeling helpful. The sooner I finish, the sooner I can see about getting rid of Gelzon. And before you say no, just remember who made that precious Zodiac weapon of yours, because it didn't make his bleeding self. Well, what do you say? I knew I could count on you. The thing's pretty much done, to tell the truth, but it needs something extra. A shine will make him forget it's only a tool for boiling water. Seeing you here actually gave me an idea. You remember them piece of Alexandrite we used for your Zodiac weapon? Stuff looks stunning when light hits it the right way, like moonlight glinting off the lip of a grog bottle. Might be as I can use it to give this kettle a nice sheen. Should be easy to round up a few for someone like you. Bring me, say, 50 pieces of Alexandrite, and I should have enough for a nice even coat. I'm counting on you, Lynn. Yes, my friends, 50 Alexandrite. It's a good thing that I held on to my frickin' frigs. To my frickin' tombstones. Instead of 1,400, which should be enough to get these. For anybody who may have forgotten how to get these, which is very understandable because, you know, it's not particularly the most straightforward thing. You can either do a quest, not Treasured Mother, but another quest from Brangwine. You can accept, or you can do a leveling roulette and get one for free daily. Or you can just go over here and spend 75 elegant tombstones on buying one. Decipher it, and look where it is on the map. Over here it's in Mordona somewhere. And it's right over here. So, do that times the amount of times it takes you to get 50. How much do you get again per thing? Give me a second. I do want to take a look at this. I think you get 5 from each of these maps, which would mean that you have to do 10 of these. Which is, you know, all things considered, kind of fine. And we need 750 tombstones, which is normally not too difficult to get. For instance, if you still have roulettes that you can technically do, you can get those with relative ease. Just do an MSQ roulette and an Alliance roulette, and you'll be fine. Right. Give me that chill stuff. Woken Drake. Also, these enemies are pretty freaking tough, by the way. Just keep that in mind. It's 5 pieces. Yep, do this times 10 and you win. Anyway, I'm gonna be right back because, you know, I need to get these. Here we are again with the Alexandrite. Bring me 50 pieces of Alexandrite and I guarantee this kettle will blind folks with its beauty. Here, you piece of bolt man. Good on your last. Now let's make her shine, eh? Bloody Alexandrite, like forcing us 3 days shite. That was worth the trouble, though. Finest I've ever made, if I do say so myself. A kettle fit for royalty. Or at least, them rich knobs would drink their tea with fancy cakes and such. Oh, but it wouldn't take more account of 60 at most to make a cracking mulled tea in that. Genius. What is this? You chose to ignore the legacy of my family line, my birthright, for this pathetic piece of tin? Why don't you come over here and say that, you opo-faced sucker? I see. Crafting this perfect kettle is meant to restore your reputation, is it? Well, for what it's worth, I think the kettle is exquisite. It possesses a transcendent sheen, unlike any kettle you have made thus far. But I will not be blinded by the waning glimmer of such tawdry wares. Have you no shame, man? Huh? Come now, Gerald. After forging something as fine as a Zodiac weapon, surely you can see this kettle is not yet worthy of your name? Well, Though we are rivals, Gerald, our time together could not count for naught. Why did you not consult me sooner? I am willing to set aside our differences for now, if this is really so important to you. To create a truly perfect kettle, one worthy of bearing your mark, you must be uncompromising, if I understand correctly. Your reputation is at stake here. Nothing must be left to chance, which is precisely why I will help you. You're alright, Yelson. If you're willing to help, I won't say no. Under the circumstances, it seems the least I can do. Were it not for your aid, my life's work would still be a distant dream. But mark my words, Gerald. When this kettle is complete, we will settle the matter of the Starforger title. Aye, fair dues. You've got yourself a deal. Then I will need you to procure some few bottles of Thethnerian mist for our work. 10 should suffice, I think. Soon the very stars in the firmament will seem pale next to this kettle's all-surpassing shine. Thethnerian mists, which I think I can just get in Merdona. So time to go to Merdona, buy this, and go back, because I decided to not look up what I needed. Which may not have been the best choice. Oh well. Other. No, that's wrong. It's special arms. Thethnerian mist. 10. I hope that I don't run out of elegant tombstones for the end of this quest. Because that would be really, really, really annoying. But at the same time, I'm gonna do my roulette save either way, so I would get more tombstones, so. Also, for the people who either weren't here or haven't heard me say it before, when it comes to these quests, I will do them, because they give me titles, and they're also just quests, so I want them off of my freaking map. Like they're normal quests, because why not? I will be doing these ones once my characters are over-leveled as fuck, so I can do all the content on my own with relative ease. Adeline, do you have the Thethnerian mist we require? Yes, this is indeed a genuine article. Never in all my years did I imagine using something so precious on something so peculiar. Well, let us see what the power of alchemy can do for this kettle. Now that, my good sir, is how you make a kettle. Behold the rich glow of finely wrought pottery. If ever there were legends born of kitchenware, this would surely warrant a place among them. The choicest fruit of the realm's most masterful blacksmith, and her most accomplished alchemist, I give you. Ultimate kettle zenith. Well, I'll be thrice damned. Rolger himself would be proud to have a kettle like that on his table. I bet you could whip up a nice blend of mulled tea in a count of 30 with that. In a count of 30 with that, whatever. Any more? Yes. Excuse me, Master Gerald, I hate to interrupt, but it's about the kettles for our client at the Rosewood stalls. I thought you should know I've taken care of their order, and it should arrive in Gridania within a day. The thing is, they insisted that the goods be delivered early, and I was forced to forego quality for the sake of crafting the requisite number in time. I'm terribly sorry. I tested one with mulled tea to gauge the boiling speed, and regrettably, took a full count of 20 to prepare. I pray they will not be. I pray they will be merciful in their appraisal, knowing it was but a lowly apprentice and not your masterful hand that accommodated the request. Next, I believe, is an arms order from the House of Splendors. It has been ages since they last requested our services. I only hope the quality of my work will not discourage future business. Ah, forgive me, I do not mean to sour the mood with talk of my shortcomings. Mayhap your coming masterpiece will serve to inspire me. I very much look forward to seeing it when it's finished. Looks like we've made a decent start on that kettle then. Ain't that right, Yelzan? Oh yes, of course. A fine start indeed. At last we can begin our work in earnest. Something wrong, Lynn? You didn't think it was finished, did you? Far from it. That was just a roughing out state. See, now's the part where we turn her into a real kettle. Yes, the all-important realization stage. For this, I fear we will need elixirs of a much greater potency. A quasi-soul potion rich with ether should serve our purpose well. Boiling it down inside the kettle will allow me to interfuse and apply the solution in a single stroke, but its boiling point is incredibly high. You would need flames from the bowels of an inferno, the fiercest gales to fan them, and the stoutest earth to contain them. Quite what form such ingredients might take I cannot say, but I must ask that you find them nonetheless. Sounds like what we're looking for are fragments from primals, namely Ifrit, Garuda, and Titan. They may very well suffice, yes. If you would be so good as to procure them, we will make a kettle for the ages. And now, not the extreme one. Oh my god! Ah! Okay. I'm gonna be right back. I'm back. Which not as difficult as I thought it would be. Anyway, Gerald. Good to see you back, lass, and with all your limbs at that. Did you get what we need? I did, you fucking ass. Listen, I know risking your neck fetching pointless shite for folk is your specialty. But this means a lot. Seriously, you're more than just another adventure. You're a mate. But enough of the sentimental bollocks. We've got a kettle to make. We did it. There's no topping that. Not this time. Hold her up and see for yourself. There's a true kettle of legend, and the finest piece of pottery yours you'll ever see. Ultimate Kettle Nexus. By the gods, what an exquisite glow. Armed with such a kettle, I am quite certain one could prepare a flawless multi in a count of 10. No, 5, mayhap even less. Thank you, both of you. When my clients see this little beauty, word's bound to travel fast. Folk the realm over will be crying out for me wares, just like back in the good old days. I've no doubt the road to your former glory is now clear before you, which only leaves the not-so-small matter of my Starforger title. I trust you have not forgotten our agreement? Nay, I've not forgotten. I plan to win that title for you fair and square. Excuse me, Master Gerald. I couldn't help but notice the kettle you've been working on, and seeing that you had just finished. I took it upon myself to look over the order. I'm sorry to report that it was due for delivery some time ago, and, well, the order was cancelled. Huh? Child, how could you forget? When was this order placed? Two, years ago. What? But we did all that work. I did all the bloody work. No. This can't be happening. Now where am I going to find 100 million gil to pay off bleeded notes? Pardon, you mean to say you were doing this for the money all along? And there I was thinking I at last discovered a modicum of decency in the gutter that serves for your soul. I should have known better. Hold on a minute, it's all coming back to me now. This order came in around the time you barged in, ranting and raving about your godforsaken Zodiac weapon, distracting me from my work. This is all your fault, you swiving, scabby-ar, shite-eating streak of piss. And you have the balls to ask that blatant title back? Bollocks to that, I'm keeping it, for good. Over my dead body, you ale-sodden little has-been. It seems... since whatever affliction claimed your hair has taken your brain... claimed your hair has taken your brain as well. The title of Starforger is mine by rights, and I will have it back. One way or the other. Have at thee. Oh, Master Gerald. Or Gerald, I don't know. Well, it appears our client no longer requires this kettle, and it would be a waste to let it sit and collect dust here in Hearst Mill. Might you be willing to take it? It's a small token of appreciation for all you've done to help Master Gerald. I'm sure he'd like you to have it. Quite sure. After taking a closer look at it, I believe I can replicate the kettle should you ever require another. Though I doubt it will be as fine as Master Gerald's. You need only ask. So we get the ultimate kettle next, which is a furniture item. You now have access to a special section of kettles from Drake. There we go. A watched pot. And we get carrier of the kettle. Now an interesting thing over here. So now you can buy like replications of all of the phases of whatever weapon that you've already finished. And you can also look at the deal in kettles, where you can buy the ultimate kettle, like normal ultimate kettle, the Zenith and Nexus. And you can also buy fist weapons. The normal one, the Zenith one, and also the Nexus one. Should you feel so inclined to fight with kettles, at least that is something. And that, my friends, finishes off everything that we can do in a Realm Reborn for these two fucking idiots. For these two people. So, I hope you enjoyed this episode of just us playing Final Fantasy XIV, and next episode we're gonna go and at least advance, or I think finish off the Amalja Beast Tribe story quest, now that it has become available to me, after painstaking work. And the other thing we're going to do after that is we are going to go to my main character, and we're going to go and show off the weapons, and also, if I can find it properly, we're going to read the text of all of these weapons, so all of like little flavor text about them. Anyway, goodbye.